Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and this Last of Us situation is something, huh? In case you haven't been paying attention for the last few months, the latest game coming from PlayStation developer Naughty Dog is The Last of Us Part 1, a new iteration of their smash hit PS3 title redone for the PlayStation 5. And this would be all fine and dandy, except for the fact that you can, already play The Last of Us on your PlayStation 5. The Last of Us Remastered came out on PlayStation 4, and like most other PlayStation 4 games, it's totally playable on your PS5, if you can manage to find one. So it brings up the legitimate question of, why? Why bother remaking a game that already has a functional version on the system you're making it for? From what we know so far, the remake primarily seems to be graphical updates, and it sports a hefty $70 price tag. People are understandably confused and upset at Naughty Dog. I'm sure there are reasons this game is getting this remake treatment. It's also gonna be coming to PC, which is honestly a pretty big deal. But for the most part, the whole thing comes across to some as a cash grab looking to take advantage of fans of the original. Personally, I don't particularly care. I've never played The Last of Us, and I don't really plan to. I enjoy my Naughty Dog games best when they have otzels in them. But all the same, observing the madness from the outside has been highly entertaining. I'm more than content to sit back and watch this dumpster fire of a situation burn. But as I gaze into the flames, I can't help but be reminded of something. A very similar scenario, with a different beloved game franchise. Once upon a time, there was a developer called Alpha Dream. Primarily known for making games for Nintendo's handhelds, their most famous claim to fame was the Mario & Luigi series, starting off on the Game Boy Advance with Superstar Saga, and that game was awesome! Then they made a sequel on the DS called Partners in Time, and it was also awesome! And then they made a third game called Bowser's Inside Story, and hey, guess what? It was awesome! Phenomenal even! Bowser's Inside Story is often considered to be the best in the series, and for good reason. It's probably one of the best RPGs Nintendo has ever put out. Of course, the series didn't stop there. It eventually moved on to the 3DS with two more games, Dream Team and Paper Jam. And you know what? They're awesome! These two might not be as good as Inside Story, but they still have a ton of unique charm and are crazy fun to play. The best part of all of it, you could play almost the entire series on one system thanks to backwards compatibility. With the obvious exception of the first game, since it was on a GBA cartridge. But Alpha Dream fixed that, and they remade Superstar Saga for the 3DS. This was quite the surprise, but a welcome one. Now, an entire series of utterly fantastic RPGs was playable in one convenient space. And then they remade Bowser's Inside Story. Wait, what? Yeah, they remade a game for a system that was already fully compatible with the system it was being remade for. Starting to sound familiar, huh? Granted, finding DS games on store shelves wasn't as common in the era of the 3DS, unless you went to a used game store. So you could argue it was remade for accessibility reasons. But in that case, why not also remake Partners in Time? Why skip the second entry? What real reason was there to buy the remake, and why was it remade in the first place? They did add a new side story to the game called Bowser Jr.'s Journey. It acted as a sort of sequel to the side story they added to the Superstar Saga remake called Minion Quest. So technically, you were getting two stories for the price of one. So that was reason enough for me to buy it. Also, I'm a sucker for this series and would have bought it regardless. But if you want my opinion, the smarter thing to do would have been remake both the second and third games and package them together on one cartridge. Just saying. As for why the game was remade, there's not much information on that really. Aside from two small points. They could build the game easily with existing assets, and they wanted to remake the most well-received game in the series. But while it isn't confirmed to be connected, a more obvious reason presented itself not long after the game launched. In October of 2019, Alpha Dream filed for bankruptcy and shut down. Primary reason? Sluggish sales, high development costs, and a growing debt of over 400 million yen. It doesn't take much effort to put the pieces together here. Bowser's Inside Story was most likely remade as a last-ditch effort to generate sales and maybe help the company recover. But it instead did the opposite, being one of the worst-selling Mario titles ever. Probably because, well, there was very little reason to buy it. It was a game that a lot of people already owned, being remade for a system that was already playable on. And it didn't even cost $70. So I guess that brings us full circle to The Last of Us Part 1. Why is this game being made? Is it truly just a cash grab title? Or is something going on behind the scenes at Naughty Dog and they're desperate for money? I don't think that would be the case, but I also never expected one of the developers of some of the best Mario games ever to end up in financial ruin. Will The Last of Us Part 1 end up being a success, or will it end up as a giant failure for Sony and Naughty Dog? Is there enough justification for PlayStation 5 owners to buy a game they probably already own? Maybe if the game fails on consoles, it'll find success when it releases on PC. I guess the only thing to do is wait and see. I just hope Naughty Dog doesn't end up like Alpha Dream. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of my other analysis videos. And I've got plenty of other content, so I would appreciate some support in the form of views, likes, subscribes, comments, and all that good stuff. It really does mean a lot when I see your feedback and your engagement in my work. Until next time, this is your good friend Sparky signing off. I'll catch you later.